Good morning, day two. Um, just woken up a while ago, having my cup of tea. I'm going to start in about 2 hours from now. It's about 5:30 in the morning. The plan for today is to go to Lake Naivasha and Lake Nakuru. On the way, I'll be stopping at the Great Rift Valley. So primarily have a quick break there. It's a nice place to see. I'll capture and share the ride with you. It's pretty dark outside. I can still see. I don't know if you can see. Those are lights of the airport. So I have about 1.5 hours before I start the journey from now. So I'm going to get ready and take you on the journey with me. Okay, I have my breakfast now. Ninth floor, entering there. Sorry? Yeah. Nice little small restaurant. I think I can sit here in the mouth view. That's the view of the city from here. Breakfast is here, and just spoke with Paul. So he says he'll be here in about 20 minutes. So let me grab this and see you with when the vehicle arrives.
Paul,
How are you?
this is Mr. Paul.
Yeah, Asit, how are you?
Asit, how are you?
Yeah, good.
Say hello.
Hi, how are you guys?
So starting the journey now. Paul is here. The vehicle is here. Paul and Charles, the guide. Yeah. Shall we?
Yeah.
All right. Taking the first expressway out of Nairobi.
Yes.
Okay. We are on the way on the Eastern Expressway out of Nairobi now and headed towards Lake Nakuru. We're going to drop Paul on the way and continue our journey.
The only national park near the city
Yes.
in the world.
Oh, alright. There's a Nairobi National Park starting here, all open. Now it's running through.
Yeah, or you can say
Yeah.
it's the only city in the world where lions and rhino share the same city with human.
Yes. That's amazing. Right.
Yes.
That's amazing. Right. And live in peace.
Yes.
And
They
still
live in peace.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're just crossing the Nairobi city, and Charles tells me that all these houses that I see are mostly rich people, ex-ministers, army generals, even the first president, and all that we go around here. We are now driving along the Great Rift Valley viewpoints, several of them, and there are a lot of small shops which are managed by the community, which are set up along these viewpoints, obviously as rest stops for the people, and just a small coffee break or stretch your legs along this route. People stop, have a view of this valley. These are those small shops, and there's a heavy traffic on the other side, mostly coming in from the east shore. We're driving along the eastern wall of the Great Rift Valley, and in some time we're going to stop along this at a more serene viewpoint where people just stop for some photographs. The valley stretches from the Middle East in the north to about 8,000 kilometers till Mozambique in the south. These local shops are managed by the community, and they come all the way from Nairobi every single day to, sell their handmade and other produce.
So the Great Rift Valley viewpoint now. Behind me, a lot of safari vehicles just parked here. People enjoying their trips. Nice sun in the valley.
These are some pictures. The Land Cruiser Safari's parked. A view of me and the Rift Valley behind. This is the curio shop owner where I bought this hat from. And Charles now ready to head back on the road towards Naivasha. Now as we head towards Lake Naivasha, we are greeted by the same heavy traffic. People drive in a very, very composed manner here. Nobody just wildly overtakes each other unless they find a spot. And on the back of the video you can see a little mountain. That's Mount Longonot. It was last known to erupt in 1860s, and in the local language it's known as the mountain with many edges. I have some pictures coming up, close up of those mountains taken by my iPhone. They're much better than the video pictures. So we continue our journey towards Lake Naivasha.
So just arrived at Lake Naivasha. Hey Joseph. Jumbo.
Yes.
This is Joseph. Hi.
Hello.
Misali moja tu mrudisha hapa na
And we're just now going to go for a boat ride.
After 1
I'll
hour.
see you 1 hour. Might see you later. Birds just resting around, basking in the sun. Egrets. Some fishing eagles sitting over there on that tree trunk. Just gonna go look for other birds and animals. There's one pelican over there. Just one pelican over there. Now we are heading towards the Crescent Island just to see from the outside. It's an island which got stuck between the lake, kind of because the water rose. So the animals over there have been stuck since quite some time, and more like tame. So they do a
some fish from these guys who were fishing over there to lure the fishing eagles to catch them. They're sitting way back on those trees, they're nesting up here. And here's the whistle to call them. Now they're going to dive and catch the fish. So actually the male guy dives. And here he comes. I shot a few rapid action pictures of the whole dive, and it was an awesome experience. So let's watch these pictures in stills now. With that great display of the elegance, majesty and splendor of the African fishing eagle, I moved along the shores of the Crescent Island and saw a lot of other birds, the pied kingfishers resting on the branches. One of them had caught a fish which it was trying to adjust to swallow in its beak, and got some great pictures of the up close of the kingfisher. This is an awesome sight, and one that you'll never forget in your lifetime. There were other birds like this green egret, and we came across some of the other animals, the zebras, the wildebeest, and the Thompson gazelles, which were just grazing on the island. There were more fishing egrets on the trees, just resting, basking in the sun. Soon came across the other beauty of the Lake Naivasha, which is the pelicans. Caught these two just taking off from the water, and took some pictures of them just in flight. Beautiful creatures with the large beak and the gill to swallow the fish up close. As they moved along, I said bye to Lake Naivasha and moved along to the rest of the journey too.
So half a day gone, just heading down to Lake Nakuru. It was a fantastic experience at Lake Naivasha, especially those fishing eagles, the hippos, starling, and of course those animals at the Crescent Island. Then the other birds, kingfishers, those were great, lovely. And I think nobody should miss this. They should always keep this in their itinerary. And even if you spend a little bit of time over here, you should really do that, and you will really not miss that. And the beauty of the lake, it's all very clean. I think the hippos just peeked at us for just a second, and they were basically grazing underwater. So it's going to be about 1.5 hours before we reach stay in. Probably I'm going to go check in, have some lunch, and then start the afternoon safari.
We took an off-road before Lake Nakuru, and on the way saw Lake Elementaita. There's a lot of flamingos over there as well. So arrived at the Lake Nakuru gate now. You can see a lot of cars parked here behind me. The driver is going to get the entrance done. And finally going to get into the park. The main gate is there. As I waited at the gate, I took some pictures of these beautiful birds, the local starlings. It was just awesome. Soon we entered the Lake Nakuru National Park and drove along this dirt road with the top open, and just me enjoying standing and looking at the first view of the national park. Right across there was this secretary bird which flew across us to its chick in the nest and was feeding it. The majestic secretary bird, which uses its legs to kill snakes and other large prey. As we were driving towards the resort, we came across this pride of lions resting in the grass even though it was raining, and across the lions there was this Pumbaa, the warthog, same as the Lion King movie. Funny guy running in the grass. Just arrived at Lake Nakuru Lodge, and as you can see, it's raining. I did get before I got here, so just gonna go check in now over here. This lady is gonna help me. What's your name?
My name is Elizabeth.
Hey Elizabeth.
Fine, thank you. Welcome.
The room in the rain, you can see. Just trying to find, and there is the lake in the background. And this was the balcony that I came out of. Despite the rain, a beautiful view from the room, the lake. I'm going towards the restaurant now. I'll have a quick bite. Let's hope this rain stops so that I can go for a decent safari. At the restaurant, having the lunch on the patio. It's still raining and these birds were feeding on the scraps. There's some very beautiful birds. I couldn't resist taking this video and some pictures. This blue one was like a gem. I started the afternoon safari at about 3:15 p.m. The first visit was to the lake, where we saw a large congregation of the pelicans and a lot of other birds which were there just on the shore of the lake. Pelicans landing, taking off just in the lake in a group. Some large birds, a spoonbill that was looking for some feeding. On the other side there was a water buffalo and some birds flying in towards the main lake, so didn't miss an opportunity to take some flying shots of the birds. So here's a grey egret landing, more like a dance as it lands. and then more pelicans in flight. You can't really miss taking those shots of those beautiful pelicans. But this is what I was here for. The flamingos, the pink flamingos, the greater and the lesser flamingos, and whatever you say, whatever be the quantity of them, the lake does turn pink wherever they are. There were a few hundreds of them. Most of them have moved towards Lake Bogota as the water has risen in the lake. After seeing the flamingos as we moved towards the national park, we saw a lot of other birds and animals. A large herd of antelopes, waterbirds, giraffe and zebras grazing in the thick bush. And here's the Puma. He wasn't really happy seeing us in his territory. There were other animals on the road, and these guinea fowls just wouldn't move. They were dancing and playing. As we moved further, we saw a lot of other rare birds and animals, but most importantly, we got a call on the radio that there's been a sighting of large herd of white rhinos along with giraffes. So we hid quickly over there. There was a herd of white rhinos along with a little baby also there. White rhinos are now endangered and found only around Lake Nakuru, so it was nice to see them. Also, where else in the world can you see a large tower of giraffes, about 30 of them with babies as well, just grazing in the evening? It is getting late in the evening, so I decided to head back towards the resort, but not before being blessed to see a few more animals like this high-crested eagle, the snake eagle, and as I entered the resort, I was greeted by this hyrax. I was tired, so I had dinner and spent some time along with the fire that they had lit, pondering about the day, that how wonderful it was, and a once in a lifetime safari that I enjoyed thoroughly through the day.